Support WrestleTalk!
Donate on Patreon. Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm King Ollie. And as the explosive first ever WrestleTalk vs Cultaholic face-to-face revealed on Friday, the losing team for the SummerSlam Predictions War will have to perform a lip-sync dance routine live on stage at Wrestling MediaCon on September 9th. But what song should Cultaholic, the losing team, perform? Become a WrestleTalk Pledgehammer on Patreon to send in your suggestions now. We'll then combine WrestleTalk and Cultaholic's best picks to unveil the shortlist for Patreons to vote on this Wednesday. Becoming a WrestleTalk Pledgehammer will also get you 2 Patreon-exclusive Wrestle Ramble podcasts a month, dedicated videos from me and Luke, shout-outs, and so much more. So support WrestleTalk. Become a Pledgehammer today by clicking the eye above my head or the link in the video description below. Have you ever wanted to smell like you've just competed in an hour-long wrestling match? Well, now you can. Because New Japan Wrestling faction, the Bullet Club, have just released their own cologne, imaginatively called Bullet Club, which presumably smells like Marty Scurll's beard. I've actually just had a sample. That doesn't smell like salty sweat at all. It smells too sweet. Like the hand gesture. This is the 3rd fragrance in the Smell Like Your Favorite New Japan Wrestlers line after King of King and Fighting Spirit. And legend has it, if you combine all 3 at once, women will actively avoid you. Omega's Wrestle Kingdom 12 foe Chris Jericho has a different scent in mind though. Betrayal! Following reports that Vince McMahon isn't happy with Jericho after his New Japan match against Omega turned out not to be a one and done, as he quickly transitioned into a feud with Naito and then became the promotion's IWGP Intercontinental Champion, Y2J's relationship with another wrestling company might complicate things even further, as not only will Impact Wrestling be prominently featured on his upcoming Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea cruise with its ROH vs Impact theme, a new report reveals Jericho is partly responsible for the promotion turning itself around to become one of the most talked about wrestling companies in the world again, and in a good way this time. According to the Wrestling Observer, sometime last year, the owner of the Fight Network, Leonard Asper, whose site Impact is streamed on, was talking to his fellow Winnipegger Chris Jericho about how the company had lost so much money. Jericho reportedly told him that Impact had been run by snakes, and that those type of people are only going to rip him off, and that he should hire Don Callis to run the company or fold the company. Asper appears to have listened, as Callis was brought on shortly after, widely regarded as the turning point in Impact's recent fortunes. Don and Chris are longtime friends, with Callis being one of the minds behind Jericho's Alpha vs Omega match in January, and with Y2J being occasionally name-dropped by Callis on commentary recently. There's speculation that we could hear the words "Impact is Jericho" this year. Speaking of speculation, ever since Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler were officially signed to WWE, there's been talk of a match between UFC's 4 horsewomen of Rousey, Baszler, Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir against WWE's 4 horsewomen of Bayley, Sasha Banks, Charlotte and Becky Lynch. The match was teased several times, with the teams even having a stare down at last year's Mae Young Classic. Since then, Duke and Shafir have both signed developmental contracts with WWE, and now the 2 factions are calling each other out on social media. In response to Bayley posting a picture of her and Sasha Banks in their new ring gear, Rousey commented, #faux horsewomen, to which Banks replied, "I hope Alexa wins. Ja 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 ja," which either means she's laughing or is a huge Star Wars fan. Bayley then clearly laid out the challenge, commenting, "Tell your girls to get some ring gear. We're waiting." If only there was a women's exclusive pay-per-view WWE had coming up in the near future for this to be the main event of. Become a WrestleTalk Pledgehammer on Patreon today. Click the image of me and Luke to suggest lip-sync song punishments, get exclusive podcasts, videos, shout-outs and more. I've been Ollie Davis and that was wrestling.